There are a lot of items in Fallout New Vegas. Some are weapons and ammunition used to destroy your enemies, some are just junk but can be sold, some are key quest items that are needed to beat the game. But what if you didn't want any of that? Can you beat Fallout New Vegas without picking up anything? The rules are simple. I can't pick up any items. I can't pick up things off the ground, items that are in chests, and if I give an item to a companion, that is gone forever. If items get taken out of my inventory and put in a container, I can't get them back. The only way I can acquire gear is through either trading with merchants or being given an item by an NPC. However, since I didn't think this challenge would be hard enough, I decided to add a few more things. Since I was live streaming this, I figured I would give my viewers the tools to make my life even more difficult. My viewers could use channel points to redeem one of 4 choices to make this run exponentially harder. They could have me drop an item of choice, kill a specific NPC, dismiss a companion for the rest of the run, or have me play on 1 HP for an hour. And as you'll soon come to see, this was an inconvenience to no end. I started the game with a free lobotomy in checkout. My chat chose the name Cactus for my character for reasons I don't understand, and it was here where I would select my stats. I put 9 points in luck for the casinos and critical shots, 1 point in charisma because it's worthless, and the rest are spread out evenly. For my tag skills, I chose barter for better deals with merchants, speech to beat the game, and sneak to help get an edge in combat, since I was under the assumption I would be low on supplies. As for my traits, I chose skilled and good-natured to give an overall boost to the skills I would be needing later at the cost of lower XP gain. Like Stevie Wonder in an orgy, I decided to go in blind and do no prior testing, though I did have some semblance of a plan. I figured equipment would be somewhat hard to come by until I got to New Vegas where I could get a reliable source of caps from the casino. My plan was to get to Freeside relatively quickly, though I wouldn't be going through Cazador Canyon or Quarry Junction. They would be faster routes to Freeside, but I ultimately chose to take the longer path around for more experience and supplies. Also, I just suck at the game, so there's no way I'm getting past that. However, even before I left Doc Mitchell's house, I realized that things would not go my way.
Can you beat Fallout New Vegas without taking any
Alright.
damage?
The truth is, you lost an expensive piece of army issue equipment.
Motherfucker. Having one of my few possessions cast aside, like how babies were cast out of bathtubs, I decided that lockpicking was morally wrong. My starting equipment consisted of a pistol with 24 rounds and a vault suit, though after pretending I cared about Sunny Smiles and what she was saying, I gained a varmint rifle as well. With the reality of my viewers having the ability to take away my few precious items, I decided to buy a knife as a backup tool. Spoiler alert, the only time I ever used it was to take a stab at the monument where the bitch boy private resides.
What the f*** are you doing?
Since I had to play on 1 HP and remembering that there was a gunfight in Good Springs, I decided to skip that and head for Prim. Though the convicts in the town took a bit of time to deal with, I managed to beat them the same way they got JFK, by waiting around a corner and aiming for the head. Once inside the Vicky and Vance casino, I purchased a shotgun and bribed a viewer into not having me drop it. Toby, no. Toby, that's already hard enough. This is all my goddamn money! It worked until someone else redeemed it. I then made my way to the Mojave outpost and picked up a quest from Ranger Ghost to see what those rascals at Nipton were up to. Arriving there, I killed Oliver Swanwick, because I could, putting me at level 2. I put my tagged skills at 40 and took the Black Widow perk to have some fun later. After talking to Volpez, I told Ranger Ghost what had happened to the town for that sweet, sweet experience. I proceeded on to Novak, however I couldn't progress down the main road due to the Vipers guarding it, so I decided to pursue an alternative route which wasn't available. Angered by my procrastination, a viewer redeemed Kill an NPC and told me to go after Isaac, a member of the Gunrunners. That doesn't sound too bad, except the Gunrunners were going to be my main source of getting gear. I won't lie to you, I begged, pleaded even with the viewer to change the target. After about 20 minutes of this, he bestowed mercy upon me and changed the target to Mother Pearl. That'll be a problem for later me to solve. While waiting for the hour to pass, I said, fuck it, let's just deal with Good Springs now, since I desperately needed experience. I spent the duration of the firefight bravely cowering behind a rock, taking pot shots at the powder gangers and letting the citizens of the town take the bullets for me. Once the battle was over, I set my health back to normal and continued on my way to Novak. It was here where I encountered something that would affect the rest of the challenge, and it irritated me to no end. When you set your health to 1, the game makes your limbs frail to go along with your weak stature. The problem arises when you revert your health back because your limbs stay noodle-esque meaning whenever I take damage, at least one of my body parts will get injured. Combat now has to be avoided as much as possible, since medical supplies are few and far between at this point. I spent an embarrassing amount of time trying to look up console commands to fix this, though the combination of frustration, fatigue, stupidity, and laziness prevented me from finding the right command, so I lived with the consequences of being God. Though my limbs might be as strong as a Roosevelt, I remained as stubborn as a Roosevelt and spammed my remaining stims through the canyon. Arriving at Novak, I went for Boone to acquire him as a companion due to my crippling polio. Boone wanted me to find the person who sold his wife into slavery and bring them to justice, though I already knew it was Jeannie Mae Crocker. Problem is, I can't access the bill of sale that proves she committed the act. Needing speech to be at 55, I did what any good person would do, and ignored his emotional turmoil to get more money. After getting distracted by Michael Jackson, I took a detour at Boulder City to get some easy experience by doing some hostage negotiation. I returned to Novak, got my first elderly woman killed, and acquired Boone as a companion. For a total of 8 seconds before a viewer redeemed the companion dismissal, and I had to say goodbye to Boone. The same time I said bye to Booney Boy, a hit was put out on a prominent NCR military leader named Colonel Shu. This would be quite a challenge because Colonel Shu is in Camp McCarran, an NCR military base. He sits out in the open, making stealth difficult and surrounded by not only NCR soldiers, but 1st Recon, an elite marksman group. That'll be a problem for later me to solve. But you know what current me has to deal with? Yep. Another hour of 1 HP! Hooray! After putting the console command in and getting jump scared by Victor, I continued on my way to New Vegas. When I arrived at the sharecropping farm, I lowered the cost of the drop weapon redeem to 500, meaning I would have to deal with that more often and therefore making the run more exciting. For my viewers, not me. I then arrived at Freeside, and after some friendly interactions with the locals, I headed on over to the Atomic Wrangler to make some quick, easy cash from the blackjack table. You know what they say, 90% of gambling addicts quit right before they win big, and that is a statement I live my life by. Let me show you how the gambling works. It's pretty cool. Alright, 14, we hit that shit. Let's hit that shit. I lost all my money. After a half hour at the blackjack tables, I made enough money to pass the credit check and did an inventory check. I currently have a rifle, a pistol, a knife, 1 beer, 1 stim pack, 15 rounds for the rifle, and 21 for the pistol.
The truth is, you lost an expensive piece of Army-issue equipment!
I have a pistol, a knife. In desperate need of equipment, I went to go get some from Mick and Ralph's, though on my way there, a thug tried to beat me to death with hammers. After getting trapped in the Mormon fort, I made a run for the shop assuming he wouldn't follow me and... Are you f***ing kidding me? Did you actually fall? What is wrong with you? Okay, well that solves that issue. That was not necessary. Normally at this point, I would head to the Lucky 38 and progress with the story, but I had to kill Colonel Shu in Camp McCarran. This would damage my relations with the NCR, but there's a way around this. Once you enter and leave the Lucky 38, a representative from the NCR will be so impressed by your ability to walk through doors that he hands you a magic piece of paper forgiving all past transgressions that you've committed against them, which, for what I had planned, was needed. After satiating my gambling addiction, I bought some weapons from the gun runners, went to test them on some fiends that were nearby, failed, and then went to go kill Colonel Shu. His placement proved to be a difficult one, but after many attempts, I finally got him. I quickly fast-traveled to New Vegas and began to head back to the Lucky... That wasn't him! No! Fuck, you're right! That wasn't him! Turns out, that wasn't Colonel Shu, that was actually Major Daughtry. My attempt to rush through the assassination, I didn't take time to check who I was killing, and even when his name popped up, I just... didn't see it? There's no defense for this. I was just being a fucking idiot. Making my way back to Camp McCarran when my viewers told me that Colonel Shu is actually inside on the left in an office, which was perfect for a stealth kill if I was actually good at the game. Once Colonel Shu was dead, for real this time, I headed on over to Mr. House, a pre-war businessman who put himself in a computer and single-handedly saved Las Vegas from getting nuked. I would give him credit for that, but his ego doesn't need to be stroked anymore. He's got robots for that. He wanted me to get the platinum chip back from Benny, the dude that shot me in the beginning. I instead took Benny to Pound Town, only because I needed to in order to get the chip later, without picking it up. It was necessary to f him. After coitus, he enjoyed it so much that he went to go get cigarettes and will definitely call me back later. Hopefully. I rummaged through his presidential suite and found the most important NPC for this run, Yes Man. Yes Man's a reprogrammed Securitron that obeys any command given to him. My command is simple. Control the entirety of New Vegas and subjugate the tribals under my rule. Pretty standard RPG stuff if you ask me. Though in order to accomplish this grand objective, we would need to kill Mr. House, who has a lot of Securitrons with heavy weaponry protecting him. However, it was here where I made another crucial mistake that would cost me quite a lot of time. See, when I went to the terminal to open Mr. House's sex dungeon, I saw that I needed a science skill of 75 to hack into it, and I put jack shit into that skill. You don't actually need to hack the terminal to get to Mr. House, you just need to progress farther into the story in order to access the terminal. Under these false pretenses, I went over to the Silver Rush to buy some energy weapons to combat the Securitrons, though once again I had to drop what I had purchased thanks to my viewers. I returned to the Lucky 38 to get the quest where I need to go to Cottonwood Cove, where Caesar resides. And for some reason, the followers of the apocalypse, the doctor, managed to get inside. I still don't know how she managed to get in, like who let you in? Caesar now has the platinum chip after capturing Benny while he went to go get some milk. While en route to Cottonwood Cove, I slaughtered a family of geckos for the heinous crime of being in my way, but I had to drop my rifle in the middle of that encounter, thanks once again to my viewers. After arriving at Caesar's camp, the guard took almost all of my weapons except for the ones that I had stuffed up my ass, though thankfully this wasn't a problem since they'll give it back to me in a minute. Talking to Caesar, he asked that I enter a bunker that can only be opened with the platinum chip and destroy what lies inside, that being a large army of Securitrons that will be used in the Second Battle of Hoover Dam. I proceeded to get my shit kicked in due to the fragile limb issue I mentioned earlier and not having enough stim packs to fix the problem. After getting medical supplies, I returned to the bunker, killed all the clankers inside, and activated the army instead of destroying it. I then went to the Great Khans, the Hidden Valley, and reacquainted myself with the other casinos for Yes Man's quest, and maybe just a little gambling. Not too much.
You have a problem. No. This is an investment opportunity. That is what's happening.
I restocked on ammo, went to go kill Mr. House, and the game crashed. After reloading a prior save, I opened Mr. House's sex chamber, ignored all the Securitrons, and went to meet him in person. I killed the decrepit raisin-looking motherfucker and replaced him with Yes Man. He wanted to show me his new toys that he got, and like the responsible parent I was, I pretended to be invested in what he was saying and ignored his demonstration. With Yes Man in control of the Lucky 38, the end of the challenge was in sight. My next quest was to meet the minor players that were going to be involved in the upcoming Battle of Hoover Dam, which isn't that hard to do with Yes Man, except I had to go kill the leader of one of those factions, Mother Pearl. And unfortunately for me, she's in charge of the faction with all the goddamn artillery and heavy weapons, which makes things a bit difficult, but not impossible. The problem isn't killing Mother Pearl, it's getting away with it, since all of her compatriots won't be too happy with me icing their head honcho. The plan was to simply wait for Pearl to turn around and then give her surprise brain surgery. This took much longer than I was expecting because this wrinkly sack of shit refused to get out of her chair for an entire in-game day. She just sat there staring at me like she knew what was coming but didn't want to tell anyone. It was so fucking stupid. Why are you just staring at me? Get off your ass!
Come on.
Thank you. Now, being in the home stretch and having streamed for about 6 hours at this point, I was gearing up to finish this challenge. I ran to the Eldorado substation, got it powered up, told Yes Man I didn't care for politics, stocked up on weapons and ammo, and began the Second Battle of Hoover Dam. The battle was tough, as my limbs seemed to be allergic to my torso and kept separating from it, but after dying a couple times, I managed to push inside the dam, upload Yes Man into its power system, killed the remainder of the Legion forces inside, and went to confront the Legate. His Praetorians put up a good fight, but they were no match for my fatigued ass. Instead of fighting the Legate, I talked him into walking away like a little bitch, which he did. I went to the gates, talked to General Oliver about skydiving, and with that, I beat Fallout New Vegas without picking up anything.
Really? 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 Okay, turns out I was bisexual the whole time. Hey, look at that.
Thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, feel free to leave a like and subscribe. Huge shout out to Delphi Xander for making the thumbnail for this video. I really like it. Go check him out, his link will be in the description. This is all streamed live. If you want to check that out, you can go to twitch.tv/MidasRedding. I'm really excited that I actually got a video out. I've been editing for some of my friends, and I'm really excited that I'm now at the point where I feel comfortable where I can actually make stuff for myself. I'm really excited. I've got some cool stuff planned up ahead. Thank you guys for being patient. I swear I have a somewhat consistent upload schedule coming, I think. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.